Hey, so I've been a little bit missing for a few days, um, but what I have to show for it is that now you could see more of the screen. I don't have to have the windows side by side. Now I can kind of do this and then switch to this. Um, Thanks to my bro and help from my friends setting up using my brother's hand-me-down hardware, which I can actually put into my PC, so it's not ancient anymore, so it has the ability to um, actually work with OBS properly. I think the video card I had in there was from like 2010. um, so I was just busy this week just tinkering with getting that working, and so hopefully then I'll just use this to stream from and to work on. So hopefully we don't have some of the problems like before when I was just like streaming and playing the game and it would kind of hitch, or and then OBS wouldn't let me kind of well, do this and this and nicely. So that's better. So it took me way too long to figure all that stuff out because I don't do anything with hardware. So that was kind of my crash course in that. But so where we were last time was this kind of weird working on getting like tiles that were offset like this. Why am I going slow today? Yeah. And yeah, I normally like to kind of work or at least think about this in between streams, so at least I don't come into this cold, but I didn't really do that, so we're gonna kind of look at this together. Alright, so this was a new development, so now this tile is like, there's like half of it. And then we can kind of like adjust what it is, like, we can say it's this, we can say it's, yeah, we can kind of just do that to it. But right now it was, yeah, 16, so that's half. Because 32 pixels for one tile right now, so... but the problem was, so now it... Even though it looks good, it doesn't quite... the collision doesn't quite work. So, I mean, he can kind of like run around... well, yeah, so that happens. You can like land on it, but then it still thinks it's like a full tile, and then not only that, but it's like pushing him out to here. So like that's wrong. And also this is wrong. That's wrong. So what I'm trying to accomplish now is, okay, he can kind of just be here in this little alcove, that's cool. But then when I walk into it and the collision system detects a collision, it's supposed to just push me out so I'm still in this little alcove, but instead it just pushes me all the way out too far. And like I took a couple seconds to look over this some more, and I think what it looks like is this code in here somewhere. So this is the general tile system. We're not really going to look in this much today. Nothing really has to change much in here. Something in here has to change. But specifically, so here is the function that's called when a solid tile, meaning a tile that doesn't have some kind of mathematical function in it, like a circle or a line, just a regular solid block. So it's still considered solid even if there's like part of it showing. So this gets called when, ultimately when a collision is detected, and we do some kind of trigonometry to find out, the normal and where it's supposed to push out. But I'm looking at this case in particular. I have to make the offsets work. Here we're taking into account the offset. This is new. tiles didn't have this before, so I'm going to have to work that into all these other collision resolutions. But for now, just this case. This actually gets hit when we're standing in that little alcove and we walk into the wall, and it's supposed to just push us out a little bit, but it pushes out too far. I think this is correct, though. I mean, we basically want to put the player at the X position -1, so pretty much where the tile is offset, and then just like -1, just a little bit outside of the wall. So I mean specifically what that looks like. So if the offset here is 16, then we would basically put him at X is 15. What button was? Yeah, just to kind of. So like that's 16. So putting him at X 15 would put him like right here, and that's where we want. Instead of that though, it's pushing him like out to like an extra tile over, which is just not right. So blank. Yeah, that's also that. Also that. Where are we? Where are we? And I think that weird climbing up ledge bug will be fixed when we fix this other offset thing, hopefully. But so I'm in here. If I walk to the right, it's just supposed to push me out. It just does not do that right. So from here, this actually hits. Right, check collision. This is the chunk. So the levels are divided up into chunks, and each chunk has a bunch of tiles in it. So this is the function that calls that function. And here it does some like calculations on which tile you're in. And then if it finds that you did collide, it does some other stuff. But something in here is not right. So specifically, let me just get that going again. Attached to the debugger. I feel like this happens faster with this new old computer. Okay, good, triggered it. And so what the position was, this is in tile space. So in tile space, things go from 0 to 32 in X and Y. 0, 0 being the bottom left of the tile, 32, 32, or 31, 31 being the top right. So here, X16, like right in the middle, but a little bit over. So pushing into the wall a bit. So that's what we want to push him back out. So that'll put him at 15. So that's correct. That's what we want. And the collision resolution is left, meaning that the collision system had to push him left to get him out to resolve the collision. So here we are. Okay, position is now 15x in tile space. That's good. But then things go a little bit sour. So we see next X, next Y. And these X's, this is now in chunk space. And so each chunk is also a 32 by 32. Has 32 tiles wide, 32 tiles high. And so we're at, I think that tile was at like 18, 17 in the chunk. So picturing the chunk as a 2D array, these is just the XY index, 18, 17. And now, so the chunk did a collision check on its particular tile. It found the tile where the player is, found that there was a collision. The tile had to push him left. What the chunk is now doing is seeing if there's another tile at the spot where he pushed him out. So we can see, though, that there isn't. But if there was one, in the neighboring tile, like the collision system would have to keep resolving until the player isn't in a tile space. So that's what it's trying to do now, but I think it's not doing that right. So it's saying, yeah, okay. There was a... You had to push him left, which means that the next tile we will check is X index 17. So, I mean, that's all well and good. But see, now something about this doesn't quite look right to me. Or it did back before I had X and Y pixel offsets. Because now I might have to reorder some of this, and that's scary because I hate touching this code because it could break the world. So this local XY is like the current XY index of the tile that the player is meant to be in. Except we really don't have to go over one. So the collision system is... So the collision system is telling... The tile is saying it had to push the player left, but this code is interpreting that as you had to go over one tile to the left, but really you didn't. You stayed in the same tile space, you just had to push out a couple of pixels left. But he's still in that X18, Y17 tile. But this code is thinking now he's out of that tile completely and he's over one. So it's now, which you would think that would make this local tile space calculation wrong, but he's still at 15. Like, that's still good. Everything's still good. And now the chunk is now looking at, okay, which tile is in this new space, the tile to the left of the tile that saw the collision. It sees that there's no tile there, -1. There is no tile at that index. So it's like, okay, break, get out of that. Okay, we're not checking for collisions anymore. The player's at a good spot, but now here... It's like, yep, there was a collision. This X is now wrong. It's one less than it should be, which explains why the player got pushed out and a whole tile left when he should have, compared to where he should have been. This XY basically being like a local cursor for the collision system to kind of be like, all right, I'm checking the tile at this X, this Y in chunk space. What I need to do, I either need to not do this, because if I just didn't do that and I just broke, then X and Y would still be at the old tile. Yeah. And see, now what this calculation is doing is taking the tile space and turning it back into world space. It's actually transforming it from tile space, 15 pixels into the tile, 9 pixels up, and transforming it from that into chunk space and then into world space. Chunk space being, this is the position of the chunk in world space, and then this is the position of the tile in chunk space. And what we end up with is, so instead of 2.5, this is in unity units, 1.5. So that's wrong. We wanted the 2.5, but because this is one less than we wanted, that accounts for the one less than we want here. So I think what I need to do is, when I say collision resolution left, what I mean in this case is not that you had to go one tile left, but that you can stay in the same tile you're in. you can stay in the same tile that you're in. And so this code is all built around assuming that the tile pushed you out of that tile, and now you have to look at the tile next to you. But now when we're dealing with offsets, you can resolve the collision and stay inside the same tile. That's what's different. That's what's different. Thinking. This is good thinking music. Oh yeah, I should put the taskbar on my other monitor. No, I'm thinking about the wrong thing here. Oh wait, that, yeah. Do I want different collision resolutions? Let me see what this is. Inside. Where is this used? Who uses inside? Oh. Of course. Other tiles that are not solid use it. Because say, if the tile looks like this, like the circle, and you land like over here, the system might push you out to here, and you're still inside the tile, and the tile's collision system doesn't have to keep checking the neighboring tile. That only happens in this. Like, if you land anywhere inside this block, the tile will have to push you out in one of the directions. Potentially both directions. But you'll have to land outside the tile, and that's why... Yep, that's it. That was the answer. Use this instead. So, basically, it's not necessarily left. It's only left if you really did go outside. So like, if offset -1 is smaller than 0, otherwise, if you're still in the tile, you're still in the tile. Yup. All right. What do you say? Yeah. Why am I seeing this log printout? I meant for it to be really confusing so that it would catch my attention, and it did. Pause. It's doing what I want. Why are you confused? Oh. Oh, it's not expecting... Yeah. Check collision for solid tile. It thinks that because the tile is solid, that you can't have any other collision resolution besides these. But you can. So I'm going to get rid of that printout because now it's just confusing. So now I can kind of hang out on this little alcove. But does that weird grabby ledgy thing still happen? Yeah, what is that about? What is it doing? One thing at a time. Yeah, why? Why? Hold on. Alright, I might have to make my ledge grabbing smarter, but, I mean, clearly, yeah, but he's, like, off by a lot. Like, the way that it successfully works is like this. Yeah, so that's good. I mean, he's a little bit inside the tile. I mean, we can kind of finagle that a little bit, but you know, that's good. That's how you want it to work. Will he? Yeah. I mean, whoa, we're a little bit in the ground. Ah, we're falling into the ground. Okay, so that puts you into some bad state when that happens. This, I think I know why this happens. Because the way that I'm detecting where a ledge is, it really only works for ledges that have a nice 90-degree, kind of like that. If they're weirdly shaped, it doesn't quite work. So you know, he kind of falls into the ground a little bit. And he stays like that until you jump and then land, and now he can. So that's also a thing. Okay. I'm just gonna say. Okay. But I only covered like one really specific case. And I just want to rewrite it a little bit better. There. It's a little bit better. I have all these other cases to cover. So, alright, one at a time. If you are semi-solid, not worrying about it right now, I don't even... Yeah, you probably will want to offset semi-solids. These are the platforms you can jump through. But I'm going to leave that alone for now. So kind of how I'm doing the collision with the solid tiles. To top, to left, to bottom, to right. Yeah, so just to kind of refresh my memory, and I guess show you. Here's a tile. Yep, this is paint. And so you have your, I don't know if I have to mark this, but so let's say here's the previous, no, I'm not applying selected brush. Okay, there's like the previous position, and say like this is the current position. So in one frame you cross the boundary of a tile, and like, you know, your velocity is this. So what this is now doing, it's going to do some trigonometry stuff. finds the position. This is position in tile space. So the 0 to 31. So here we have like, you know, you're up. Yeah, okay, up can be red. And now if you were to resolve to the right, you'd go this way. If you were to resolve down, you'd go this way. And then if you were to resolve left, you'd go that way. So that's what we have there. If your X speed is less than 0, no. So in this example, your X speed, you're going from here to here, your X speed's positive. So we would go into here, and now Y speed, is it less than 0? No, it's positive, so your Y speed is here. So we'd get into this case. The angle between okay, your velocity, okay. Down and negative. Okay, so it's doing. The down vector is here. Well, this is the 2 down. If you were to resolve it, down is just 0, negative 1, and negative velocity would be just going this way. I forget, is this thing supposed to be normalized when it's sent in here? Okay, no. Doesn't need to be, but I think we just because we're taking the angle, it doesn't matter. Why am I taking the angle? Down and then oh. It's checking the angle, basically like this, and it's trying to see if you will end up to the left or down when you push out of the tile. Tan. Alright, so it gets the angle, and then it's going to tan. Tan is sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cos adjacent over hypotenuse. Tan is opposite over adjacent. I'm 15 again. See, how is math used in games? Like this. So opposite over adjacent, which means what? Where's my hypotenuse? I feel like it's this. And then say like that, I guess, is the I wrote this 2 years ago. I gotta re-remember it. Not just remember it, but re-remember it. I'm thinking that then like my right triangle in this case is this guy. No, don't need that. So in this case then opposite, so here's the angle, T, and then opposite over adjacent, bam, bam. We're taking the tan of that and multiplying it by 2 bottom dot magnitude, which is like this, the length of this line, which probably is supposed to make us end up with here. I might be not right about that. So what it's trying to do is going backwards against the velocity you came in with and find out if you land on this side or you land on this side. So here's your angle, and it'll multiply against the... I should have reviewed this before I went on stream. This is embarrassing. It's 10th grade math. I'm just applying it in a game engine. But yeah, I mean, essentially what it's doing is it's pushing out against the velocity that you came in with, and then it's detecting what it is doing is detecting if you know, by pushing out, do you end up left or down, and that's how it decides whether to whatchamacallit, whether you land on the, whether you end up on the tile to the left of this or below it. And so really all these other cases are just if you're coming in at different angles and different speeds, you know, this one will push you left or down, but then there are other cases that'll do left or up or right or down. That's roughly it. I mean, I think if I'll go into it further if I think I need to, but these now might be different when I'm using offsets because but we already changed point in tile to use the offset. Yeah, so point in tile will return false if, for example, the tile is only no, square, I want a square. If the tile's this, then this would be false, even though you're in the you're in the tile, but you're not in the actual space that's solid. So that would return false already. So checking it here, and so if you do get into here, yeah, let me see. Let me make sure it's doing that. Yeah. So it's getting in here, so yeah, we need to use the offsets because this is like 32, so pixel width. So it's no longer, you know, like say 32 minus the position. It's now let me just draw a new one. So say we have a tile that's like this, and here's the actual solid portion. Yeah. And meanwhile, this is like, you know, that. So we're here. Now to go up, it's now like, instead of it being this whole thing, which would be like 32 minus the position, yeah, instead of it being this, it would just be the shorter one, which is brain, come on, brain. So in this example, the X offset is it positive? Let me actually just check how I did that. Okay, it's negative. So a positive 8 would make it do that. Yeah. Negative 8. Okay. Yeah. That would be negative 16. Okay. I'm not worried about these. I just have to do some UI fix there for that. So really, it's like plus offset y smaller than 0? Offset y 0. Yeah. It's really not. Yeah. And then to left, know I don't need to say 0 minus, but I just, to be explicit, plus offset x because if it's you'd be going this way, but you'd only be going that far. Yeah, so instead of saying like negative position dot x, which in this case would be like, let's say like 20. If this is 32 and this is 0, this would be like 20. So then originally it would be, yeah, just negative 20, but it would be negative 20 plus the offset. So that should be right. And then to bottom, same thing. If it's and then to right. It's really annoying to look at, but so that kind of gets our. Do I even need this other thing that I? I don't think I even need this. I might have just been able to leave it how it was before. Of course, I'll need to change the collision resolution, but I can detect it just detecting it whether there's an offset. So what it was before was this. No, I think it still needs to be this. This would push him out of the tile. Because we're resolving saying, yeah, this is all relative, this should be okay. Oh, it's pushing him out. Up. Yeah. Yeah, we gotta like do weird. Yeah. Because this is no longer, you can no longer assume that you're pushing him out. You now have to factor in So instead of saying just pixel width, can I instead say no? Yes? Can I just do that? Just make things relative instead of just flatly saying you're at now Y32. And if it doesn't work, it just breaks everything. But that's why I'll just uncomment stuff. So that's kind of saying that so what that should be saying, instead of, let me just leave the old version commented out just in case I want to put it right back. Instead of just pushing him up a straight, you know, assuming his Y position and just pushing him up to 32, push him up to wherever the offset is, and then detect if you're still in the tile or if you are outside the tile, and then decide how you need to resolve. Yeah. I mean, it should work. I want to do just this case, and then just the up, because I want to just test that quickly by jumping on a tile and yeah, something like that. Reuse that same stuff. This was here before. So I should be able to test this pretty easily by just taking a tile and say like, oh, that. No, not quite. Come on, man. Oh, I also need to do the case where he has no X velocity, so X speed. This would be no X speed. Because that would be happening, and we don't really want that. Or maybe we do, but I don't think we do. Because if this doesn't work, I at least know where to check. Alright, I don't like this already. It started by doing that. Because you start out a little bit off the ground and then fall down. Well, let's see why that happens. Right, because you start out and just the first collision what's two top? 0, 0. Ah. No. Wait. Yes? No. Alright, well, okay. Problematic. Yeah, the way that this is written, it's banking on pushing him up to the pixel width Y. Why? WHY. So then he ends up falling down. When really he should be getting pushed up. Because right now he's inside the tile by like 1 pixel. Very hard to see, but maybe you can't see it yet. This might be the next physics update before the next render update. So the system should push him up, but instead it's doing this, which I just told it to do. Is it really 0? Just fully 0? Why? $32 minus... Yeah, it should be like 0.16. 31.8. But it's just like, is it really fully 0? Why? Did it get lost? Pixel width 32 minus... Yeah, it should be like 0.16. I mean, I think the slightly less intelligent way of doing this, but maybe it's fine, is to say... just say this. Pixel width minus, because in this case, what offset y is smaller than 0. Okay. This song is too long. There, that's better. Let's just manually apply the offset and then. And then that. It's just so much. Just hard to look at. Alright, but. Meh. Not quite sure what went on there. Or if my new whatever is to blame. Alright, but that. Okay, so that's. Okay, that worked surprisingly decently. Okay. What happens if I jump on it? Okay, I landed on it. What? Hey! That worked. Now I'm kind of. No, yeah. Huh. Go figure. I mean, I feel like I'm a little bit inside the tile. Maybe the resolution didn't push out quite far enough. What are you doing? So not only, yeah, all right, I'll take it. So now I can slam against this tile, which is there's half of a wall, and now there's like half of a floor. I don't expect this to quite work, but what if I said to you, that. Huh. So you can walk on it. Except you don't fall, you just like immediately snap down. I mean, that's obviously a problem, but okay, all right. So it's like partially there because you see. So I can even turn on the grid. Ah, oh my God, no. Okay, no. So we have a half. We have a half floor, and then we have a over here, and then we have like a tile that's just there's a quarter of it, and we for the most part. Oh, what are you doing? I think I need to like disable ledge grabbing until I can get the kinks worked out with complex shapes. But hey, all right. So now just the only thing I don't love about this is yeah, but it's coming along. This is more than we had last time. I might just go into the rest of those XY collision resolution cases in the solid tile and try and just figure that out off camera. Because I think I'm at an okay stopping point right now. We made some progress. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, well this was better. Because now I have more room to see things. You have more room to see things. I can code a little more comfortably. And then I can like bring up things to assist in explaining things to you and to myself. Because, yeah. Alright. I think I'm gonna call it here. I want to come out, I want to quit while I'm ahead. Even if it's just a little bit ahead, so. Alright, next time we'll just keep working through more of these different types of tiles being offset. There's a lot more to do with this, but when it's done, levels are going to be cooler looking and more dynamic looking, more varied, just a lot cooler looking. All right, yeah, I'll cut it here.